Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of the Digital Binder Project. This is the fifth episode, which means that if you've watched each of my episodes so far, you've listened to me ramble on about my collection for 20 whole minutes. So thank you. In that 20 minutes, we've covered only this amount of pages. So this is going to be a nice long series because my binder has this amount of pages. Um, so we last left off on this incredible show-off page of mine. So let's see what comes after that. Now this page here has a bunch of really cool things on it, mostly test prints. We'll start here with this M15 test print. This is when they were figuring out the new frame for the hollow stamp at the bottom. Um, this is a Planeswalker card, Planeswalker B. It says Gotham M, which is actually the font that they used. I really like this one because it's got blue casting cost and it's a green frame. Also, it's foil, and foils are cool. Now this is super rare. Um, so solid green front, Magic the Gathering back. Now the theory about these is that these are test prints used to test the sharpness of the cutting dies. Um, the green has a nice level of contrast. You can see if the edges are scuffed up or not, how clean the cut is. At least it's a story I've been told, and I'm sticking to it. Now we have a Thopter Pi network with a huge, crazy red foil thing on it. These are from test prints. They were testing out the foil variants on various cards, and this Thopter Pi network is one of a few that are out there. Um, but yeah, for some reason they just slapped a whole bunch of red foil on it. Here we go. I forgot to start my timer. There we go. Now we have an Exodus foil test print. This is from the early days of Magic the Gathering foil when they were trying to figure out what exactly they wanted their foils to look like. These come in a whole bunch of different varieties. Some of them will have +1, -1. I think there are other numbers too that indicate the darkness or lightness of them. But this is when they were trying to figure out what foils should look like. Such a cool card. Now another foil test print, trying to figure out what foil should look like. We have these Fifth Dawn Starburst test prints. You may have seen this type of foiling on the JSS promos, um, but on Fifth Dawn, this was kind of the precursor to them. This is how they figured out how to get this foiling pattern or the type of stock that they wanted to use. Now, this card here isn't a test print. Um, We have no idea what it is, but it's really cool. This back has been shifted down. There's actually, if you can see it in person, it's not going to show up on camera. Another copy of the card printed correctly underneath this, and down here at the bottom, you can see the borders were printed on after the fact. This thing is just wild. It's also on a Regal Force, which is really sweet. Cards from this sheet, very rare. I've maybe seen three or four of them in my entire time of collecting misprints and rarities. Now, these are really, really cool. These are tiny magic cards with tiny magic gathering backs. Um, the story behind these is employee at Wizards was playing around with an idea. It said, hey, wouldn't it be really cool to have really tiny magic cards and play tiny games of magic? So he prototyped out two decks. I think there's a couple sheets of those decks, so maybe four decks in total exist. I don't know if one of those sheets is uncut or not. Um, and he pitched this. Everyone loved it, but they had too many projects going on at that time, and it never became a reality. But these are just really cool. Now, this foil square-cornered swamp, we are told is a test print. It came off the grab whatever you want table at Wizards of the Coast. What it's testing, we don't know. We just know that they're Portuguese and square cornered and foil. What they're testing, I don't know if we'll ever know, but there it is. And that brings us to this beautiful card here. This is a card that's been printed out on an inkjet printer and pasted over on top of another card, signed by Bill Rose. This was either a marketing proof or something to show to studio executives about how the card was going to look. This was printed on Wizards of the Coast inkjet printers or LaserJet, sorry. Um, and I guess at some point they needed to just say, hey, this is what this card's going to look like. There's a couple of these out there that I've seen, and they've all been on cards that have been used in the promotion of Portal. Let's hop over to the next page. We've got test prints, test prints, test prints, and test prints. These three here are alternate frame 8th edition Judgment Symbol test prints. The really cool thing about these is they were experimenting with the idea of being able to fan out cards like this so that you could see the casting cost. It's a really cool design. Some people love it, other people hate it. I think they're beautiful. Something to note is they have white backs, and they're actually thinner than normal Magic the Gathering stock. I don't believe they have a blue core, but they're still really cool. These three in the center here, we've got Unholy Strength on a blue Elemental Blast. We've got a War Mammoth on a Healing Salve, and we have a Pestilence on a Spell Blast. Now, these are really cool because the text is in German. The copyright is in French and English. And these come with both black border backs and white border backs. I currently don't have a white border back version to show you guys. That's kind of dream want on my wish list. A couple have shown up recently for sale, but a little out of my current budget. These three cards here at the bottom are test prints. And if you didn't want to take my word for it, test card. Also, this is a Phyrexian Hulk with Karn art on it. So this one's really cool. With these, they were testing different holostamp variants at the bottom. You're not going to be able to see. Well, maybe I can get it to focus. Focus. So each of these have different foil material. There we go. And this one has, it says void on it in the microtext. Now they also were experimenting with different shapes. This one was just a little square. Don't know if it'll be able to show up on camera, but there's actually a little Magic the Gathering M in there. And this one is one of my favorites. We've got this Magic the Gathering M with this mythic color foil in it. But if you look at this under magnification, there's actually Chinese characters on it. We translated that, and it turns out that this foil that they used for this test print, as test card enters the battlefield, was from a Chinese tobacco factory. So they were just using whatever foils they had left to come up with really cool prints and concepts for these. Well, I think I've gone over my time. I hope you've enjoyed this episode. Thank you for watching. Now, I guess I'll do what all those other YouTubers do. If you like what you're seeing, hit the like button. Subscribe to the channel if you want to see more. I'm not going to post every single one of these on Facebook and spam you guys. So if you hit subscribe, you'll find out when new episodes come in. Now, thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you next time.